Right. Well, sure if it's actually streaming or not. Like I'm live now. Like making sure. Okay, yeah. Looks like I'm live. Right on. Cool. Just make sure the audio looks good. Wait a few minutes to see if anybody else is going to jump in. All right. Sweet. There it is. Okay. Audio sounds pretty good. Fantastic. This is what I'm talking about right here. Make sure I get everything set up on my end here so I can go through this incredible presentation I've built for everyone. All right. Just give it a little bit longer. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Doing webinars like this second Tuesday of every month. So be sure to make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified as soon as we go live. But I think I'm just going to get this started and get it going. Had a little delay there in the beginning. I wasn't too sure if I was actually live or not. This is the first time I actually scheduled the event. So this is great that it worked and it's on. So cool. All right. Well, let's get it started. As people jump in, they'll be able to catch up pretty quick here. Okay. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the Local Ad Secrets, Google Meta and the hidden gem you're not using yet. I'm Seth Rangel, founder of Foundational Marketing Hub, and we help foundation repair and waterproofing contractors dominate their local market with ads that bring in actual book jobs, not just clicks. And today, I'm going to give you the exact 3-platform playbook we use to generate $3,000 to $15,000 jobs consistently for local contractors, even when PPC costs are climbing and tracking visibility is shrinking. We make sure that we handle all that. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you guys something that most agencies wouldn't hand over. It's my 90-plus commercial intent foundation repair and waterproofing keyword toolkit. It's basically the ultimate SEO and PPC roadmap for our industry. Inside, you'll see very high-value keywords grouped by intent from core services, near me searches, and hidden long-tail key phrases, and how to localize them for your city or service area. And then we have approximate volume search, CPC, competitiveness, and notes on each of them so that you can focus on the ones that actually pay. And this is the same keyword blueprint we use when we build highly converting campaigns for our own clients. And if you're wondering exactly what to target or what high ticket, what brings in those high ticket local jobs, this is it. And before I dive in, I want you to imagine it's 90 days from now, and every time a homeowner in your area searches foundation repair and waterproofing, or even a related service to that, your business shows up on Google, on Facebook, and even on the hidden platforms that almost no one in this space is using. That's where we're headed today. Okay. So before we get to the strategies, let's talk about why what worked even 2 years ago just doesn't really anymore for local ads, especially for foundation repair and waterproofing. First is AI's officially taken the wheel. Google and Meta are using AI to decide bids, placements, and even the creative. So if you're not feeding it the right data, it'll happily spend your budget and send you the wrong leads. Second is tracking. Tracking is disappearing between cookie crackdowns, iOS updates, and tighter privacy laws. You're no longer getting the full picture from where your leads come from or what's converting. The third is generic PPC is dead. If you're still bidding on broad terms like foundation repair and you have no location tracking at all, you're paying for clicks from people 80 miles away and they're probably never going to call you. I've watched contractors burn 5,000 a month thinking that they had good ads, only to realize they were invisible to their own service area. And the good news is the rules for the winning have changed, and they actually make it easier for small, localized, local businesses to outcompete the bigger players. But you have to know the playbook. And that's exactly what we're going to go over here in the next 45 minutes is those strategies. The first thing I want to talk about is there's a first big shift you want to make is avoiding what I call the spray and pray PPC trap. Basically, it's what I see over whenever I audit foundation repair and waterproofing contractor campaigns. It's they bid on broad match keywords like foundation repair without any location targeting. They send traffic to a generic homepage instead of a laser focused service page. Or they have no call tracking, no CRM, so they have no idea which clicks turned into book jobs. They let Google run everything on full automation, no campaign structure, no negative keywords, no filtering for local intent. And the results is you pay for clicks from people outside of your service area, and the ones who are local get dropped onto a homepage that doesn't even match their search. So imagine you walk into a hardware store asking for a sump pump, and the clerk just points to the front of the door and goes, it's somewhere over there. That's exactly what local ads feel like to your prospects. And the fix is simple, but it's not what most agencies in Google's auto settings will tell you. You need hyper local targeting down to the zip codes and service areas. Service-specific landing pages that match the exact phrase they searched. Tracking every click and call so you know which keywords actually bring in the book jobs. And here's the kicker. You already have a massive advantage if you know exactly which commercial intent keywords to go after and which to avoid. And we'll get back to that when I give you the 90 plus commercial intent keyword toolkit, and that'll be at the end. So once you stop the spray and pray approach, the next is choosing the right type of campaign. And where's the most foundation repair and waterproofing contractors fall into Google's second big trap, which is letting Performance Max run the show before they're ready. Performance Max feels pretty exciting. It gets your ads everywhere. Display, search, YouTube, Gmail, Discovery. You get tons of impressions, cheap clicks, and zero control. It's like hiring a new sales rep and you give them your credit card and you say, go find me some new customers. And sure, it'll talk to a lot of people, but they won't be ready to buy from you, and they probably won't know which conversation actually mattered to begin with. Now compare that to search campaigns where you pick the exact keywords you want, you see what you're bidding on, and talking to someone who's actively searching for your service. Yes, those clicks are going to cost more, but they're from people who already are ready to book now. And here's the rule I teach to every client. If you have a big budget and you have lots of conversion data, you can test Performance Max as a scale play. And if you're just starting out and you're running lean, search campaigns first, then do the Performance Max later in that order. And when you pair a search first strategy with a targeted commercial intent keyword list, like the one I'll give you at the end of today's session, you can stop wasting budget on curiosity clicks and start filling your schedule with profitable jobs. Okay. Let's look at some real numbers here. Here's a Google ad account from a local contractor. And you can see that the Performance Max got over 700,000 impressions, but less than 1% CTR, click-through rate. That means 99 out of 100 people ignored the ad completely. Now here's the search campaign with the same account, but fewer impressions, but the CTR is 7 to 8%. And that's the power of intent. These people are already looking for help. So would you rather pay 700,000 people who scroll past or a small group that's ready to book today? And you can see the numbers here. They speak for themselves. Okay, now let's talk cost per click and see what Performance Max, it kind of looks tempting at first. And you look around, you see that 90 cents to $1 click. But the search campaigns, it's more like $2 a click. But here's the truth. Those 90-cent clicks are all over the map in intent. Many never turn into calls, but the $2 clicks, they're hyper-focused, and the conversion rates are higher because You're talking to people who actually need you right now. So which would you rather have, the cheap clicks or the profitable jobs? Now, this is where it gets interesting, which is the return on ad spend, or the ROAS. When you give a Performance Max enough data and budget, it can actually outperform search in ROAS. And we've seen 5-to-1 returns in some accounts, but that only happens if you're dialed in and you're targeting and you know exactly which leads to feed the AI. For most foundation repair and waterproofing contractors, search is the safe, predictable workhorse. The Performance Max becomes the scale play, but not the starting point. And one more thing about Performance Max is a bit of a black box here. Google decides where your ad shows, search, YouTube, display, Gmail, but they don't tell you where your money is split across in those channels. That's like giving a marketing agency your credit card and telling them to do whatever they want without getting a report. You can optimize what you can't optimize what you can't measure. And that's why you need a search first foundation before you let the Performance Max off the leash. Now, I want to give you some clarity on two Google campaign types that sound confusing if you've never separated them before, which is Performance Max and Demand Gen, or demand generation. Most advertisers and honestly most agencies treat these interchangeably, and they're not. Performance Max is Google's AI driven hunting dog. It gives you the best data for conversion, but not clicks, but actual jobs booked. And it goes across Google Search, YouTube, Gmail, and display to find people who look exactly like your past buyers. It's about multiplying what already works. But here's the key: it only works well if you've fed it good data. Garbage in, garbage out. Demand gen is short for demand generation, is a different animal. This is outreach before the customer is actively searching. Think of it like knocking on the neighbor's door to let them know that you can help them with a problem they might not have thought about yet. Demand gen uses video and image ads, mostly on YouTube and display, to plant the seed. It's about your brand awareness and interest building, not immediate intent. So here's when you would use each. If your account already has consistent conversions and you want to scale, go with Performance Max. If you're giving Google a solid buyer profile to go off of, then and you want it to find more of, then do that. If you want it to get in front of new people early or control more of where and how they see you, run a demand gen campaign. This is especially useful if you have a killer piece of content or an irresistible offer that introduces you to a cold audience. And where it ties back to your keyword strategy is in that 90 plus commercial intent keyword toolkit. I've included not just high intent search terms, but also complementary interest topics. These are perfect for demand gen targeting because you can start conversations with the exact people who are most likely to need you in the next 30 to 90 days. And when you combine a demand gen warm up with a Performance Max scale play, you've built a 1-2 punch. One campaign plants the seed and the other harvests it when they're ready. If you're a local service business, there's a pairing that's so powerful it's almost unfair. And most foundation repair and waterproofing contractors aren't using it to its full potential. It's called the Local Trust Engine, and it's built on two Google tools working together. One is your Google Business Profile, GBP. This is the foundation. It's your verified business listing on Google, and it holds all the reviews, your service area, your hours, your photos, everything that tells a homeowner this company is real and local. Next is Local Service Ad, LSAs. These are sponsored listings at the top of Google. When someone searches for local services, they carry that little green Google Guaranteed badge, which is Google's way of saying, we vouch for these guys. Here's the magic. LSAs pull directly from your GBP, your star rating, your location, your photos, even your business hours. It flows straight into your ad. But here's what most people miss. The stronger your GBP, the better your LSA performs. And I've seen two foundation repair and waterproofing contractors in the same city running LSAs for the same service, same budget, and one got twice as many calls. And the difference? One had 15 reviews with a few blurry photos, and the other had 75 reviews with crisp project photos and all business info verified. You can't even run an LSA without even a verified Google business page. So your profile is incomplete, outdated, or has inconsistent info, you're already leaving money on the table before your ads even run. And when these two are optimized and working together, you create what I call a double trust layer. The LSA gets you seen first, and the GBP proves you're credible, local, and ready to help. Combine that with targeted search terms from the 90 plus commercial intent keyword toolkit, and you'll dominate the top page, both paid and organic, while your competitors fight for scraps down below. So, can you see how being the first name they see and the one with the best reputation would make it almost impossible for a homeowner to choose anyone else? Yeah. All right. Next we got here is we're going to shift gears for a minute and talk about meta ads, Facebook and Instagram, because if you've been running them in the same way that you have since 2022, you probably noticed some results are flattening or tanking. And the number one reason is structure. Most foundation repair and waterproofing contractors are running on what I call the bucket of spaghetti strategy. Everything is broad, automated, no budget control based on performance, and no separation between testing and scaling. The fix is what I call the M3 method. It's built around three simple moves to stop budget waste and to give you a predictable growth system. The first one is this means you're looking at the data, and if you're really looking at it, and shifting a budget towards what's already winning. Here's an example. We worked with a home service brand that was spending about $5,000 across all 7 days, and we finally broke it down. Wednesday and Friday nearly had double the ROAS compared to Monday and Sunday. So we reallocated spend to those top days, instantly boosting returns without touching the creative. You can do the same thing with age groups, placements, or even ad formats. If 25 to 44-year-olds are converting at a 3x the rate than a 18 to 24-year-old, then shift the budget. If Instagram stories are pulling in more leads than a feed, shift the budget. And then step two, we have it as this is where you kind of break down campaigns into 4 buckets. First is retain. These ads for your past 90 to 180 day customers with the frequency cap so you don't burn them out completely. The next is the retarget, which is for recent site visitors, the add to cart or post engagers, basically excluding the buyers. The next is test, where the creative gets tested here, separate so the results don't get muddied. And next is scale. Your winning creative graduates here and they get the bigger budgets. Then step 3 would be graduate your winners. Don't let a good ad die in the testing. Once it hits the benchmarks, move it on to the next phase, an interest targeted campaign to find similar prospects, and a broad scaling campaign to feed Meta's AI with more winning data. And here's the kicker. The more refined your targeting inputs are, the stronger Meta's automation becomes, and that's where that 90 plus commercial intent keyword toolkit, even though it's designed for Google, we use the same search intent and themes to guide those interest targets for creative hooks and do that on Meta as well. So instead of spraying the ads across entire cities and hoping you're serving the right message to the right people at the right time, you're instead giving Meta's algorithm exactly what it needs to find them. Okay. Next is, well, we've talked about Google. We've talked about Meta. Now let's finish with a platform that's still massively underused in local marketing, but has some of the highest built-in trust you can get. And I call this the neighborhood effect. And it's built on a platform mostly for contractors, but barely touched. It's called Nextdoor. Here's why it matters. 1 in 3 households is actively on Nextdoor, not browsing for memes or politics, but actually asking neighbors for recommendations on who to hire for local jobs. And the problem? Most businesses treat it like Facebook. They run cold ads, copy and paste promo, and they hope for the best. But that doesn't work here because Nextdoor is built on personal trust. Let me give you an example. There's a story of a painting contractor that could have ran a generic $500 painter for a day ad, but instead he flipped the script. He posted, I'm giving away a free painter for a day session to someone in our neighborhood that could actually use it. Tag or nominate a neighbor that you think deserves it, and we'll bring the paint. This post went viral in his local feed. Dozens of nominations, hundreds of comments from all real neighbors. And the cost? A couple $100 in labor. In the return, multiple high-value jobs plus a steady stream of recommendations because now he was the helpful neighbor and not the pushy advertiser. Here's where it gets even better. Once someone engages with you on Nextdoor, you can retarget them across Google and Meta. Imagine a homeowner sees a giveaway post on Nextdoor, clicks it, and then later sees that Google ad when they search foundation repair near me, or your Meta ad when they scroll Facebook. And they don't like, they don't like that you're a stranger. They don't feel like that you're a stranger anymore. They feel like they actually know you. And the best part is you can combine that trust-based approach with the targeting from the 90 plus keyword intent toolkit. So those keywords don't just work on Google. We actually use the related and complementary service terms in that list to guide retargeting campaigns so they follow the best prospects across every platform. And this is the final piece of the system. Trust from the neighborhood effect, precision from the keyword targeting, and consistent follow-up from your ad platform. Combine all three and you got a winning strategy. Okay, so next we got why most PPC fails. Okay. Now I need to give you a reality check, even for the seasoned advertisers that they hate hearing. PPC is just not magic. It's not going to save a broken sales process. In fact, it'll expose you faster than anything else. I've had foundation repair and waterproofing contractors come to me after spending $5,000 on ads, and they tell me, we're getting clicks, but no calls and no book jobs. And then we dig into their funnel. And 9 times out of 10, here's what we find. No lead capture form above the fold, no clear call to action from the landing page, no follow-up process in place. It's like inviting people to your house, but forgetting to unlock the front door. They might get to the porch, but they can't get inside. So let me give you a real example. We worked with the foundation repair contractor in St. Louis, and we were running Google ads, and the clicks were coming in, but they weren't tracking the calls. And they were sending all the traffic to a generic homepage, and that homepage didn't mention the specific service searched, and they didn't have a phone number visible on mobile, and it loaded slowly. And the result, 90% of that ad spend was just wasted. Then we rebuilt their funnel in a dedicated landing page for the core service keyword, a bold call to action button above the fold, a short form for lead capture immediately, and then automatic emails and text message follow-up for those missed calls or form submissions. In the same ad budget that used to just trickle in unqualified clicks, now guaranteed booking jobs within the first week. This is why I tell the clients, fix the funnel first, then fuel it with PPC. If you start with a leaky bucket, more water isn't going to help. But once you seal the leaks, every drop counts. And the good news is, in this next couple of slides, I'm going to give you the exact 5 metrics you can watch to instantly diagnose whether your funnel is healthy or silently killing your ROI. Okay. All right, now that we've talked about why most PPC fails, let's get tactical. I want to give you the 5 simple metrics inside Google Ads that will tell you at a glance whether your funnel is working or bleeding money. And these aren't vanity numbers. These are truth teller metrics. And we check on every single client account, the ones that show exactly where the breakdown is. So let's look at metric number 1, quality score. This is Google's grade on how well your ad, keyword, and landing page match each other. You can find it in the keyword tab by adding the quality score and the historical quality score columns. The aim is for 7 or higher, and if you're below 6, Google will actually make you pay more per click, sometimes 30 to 50% more, because they think your ad is experienced as weak. The second metric would be the click-through rate, the CTR. The CTR tells you how compelling your ad is to the right audience. Above 10%, you're doing great. Between 5 to 10%, okay, but could be better. Below 5%, it's time to rewrite those ads. You're losing the clicks before the funnel even starts. The third metric is cost per click, CPC. Now, this is not about getting the cheapest clicks. It's about paying a fair price for the clicks that convert. I'll take a $7 click that turns into a $3,000 job over a $1 click that bounces in 3 seconds any day. Metric 4 is the cost per conversion, or CPA. This is a real truth teller. Even if your quality score, your CTR, and your CPC all look decent, if your CPA, cost per conversion, is sky high, your funnel isn't doing its job. This is where you start diagnosing landing pages, offers, and the follow-up speed. The fifth metric is search impressions. Now, the search impression share, this kind of tells you how often you're showing up for searches that you should be showing up for. So if you're under 50%, you're missing half the potential. If you're under 20%, you're practically invisible already. And if you're hitting 90%, it's time to expand to new keywords and new audiences. And here's the takeaway. You don't need to guess where your funnel's breaking down. These 5 numbers are like an X-ray for your ad account. And when you pair them with the exact search terms from the 90+ commercial intent keyword toolkit, you can not only just spot the problems, but you can fix them with precision by spending and focusing on the highest value keywords in your market. Okay. Moving right along here. Now that you know how to diagnose a funnel on the Google slide, that last one, let's talk about Meta and Facebook and Instagram, specifically the kind of ads that are consistently working for home service businesses like foundation repair and waterproofing. The biggest misconception I see is that you need a dozen campaigns, complex audience layering, and a high production video to get you the results. That's just not true. And in fact, the more complicated you make it, the harder it is to see what's working. Here's the exact simple strategy we've used to generate for foundation repair and waterproofing contractors at $30 to $60 per booked appointment without burning the ad budget. Is step 1 is you start with 1 campaign, 1 ad set, and 3 to 5 ads. You keep it clean so you can tell which ad is pulling the weight, and this also gives Meta's algorithm the best chance to help optimize it fast. Step 2 is you use real jobs and real videos from your jobs. Forget the polished stock photos. They look fake and they get ignored. Take a quick shot of you on the site or before and after of a waterproofing job, a crew shot in branded shirts, or a short video explaining a quick tip to the homeowner that they can use. And we've tested this over and over. An iPhone photo of a cracked basement wall outperforms a $2,000 professionally shot video by like 3x. And why? Because it feels real. And then step 3, you got to start with the message or lead form campaigns. These are low friction. People don't have to leave Facebook to contact you for the high ticket local services. That extra convenience can make all of the difference. Step 4 is you set a budget. Something that you're comfortable with. You don't need $500 a day to start. We've seen $20 to $50 a day generate book jobs, and when the creative is also dialed in with that. Step 5 is track the right metrics. Ignore vanity numbers like likes and shares. Focus on cost per leads and cost per book job and ROI. Step 6 is duplicate the winners fast. Once an ad's working, duplicate it into another ad set with different targeting. Let Meta's AI find similar people, but feed it to the best performer as a seed. This works even better when you pair it with keyword theme from the 90+ commercial intent keyword toolkit. We use the same topics that bring in high intent Google searches to guide Facebook interest targeting, which means your ad starts off in front of people who already have a problem you can solve. And when you keep your structure simple and your creative real and your targeting smart, Facebook ads start feeling not like a gamble anymore, and they start feeling like reliable channel growth. So how many can you see that just with one well-structured campaign and the right creative could start generating leads without you drowning in complexity? Okay. So now that you know the Facebook structure, you know what works, the one campaign, one ad set, 3 to 5 ads. But here's where the real game changer is. What you put into those ads can make or break the results before someone even clicks. For local home service businesses like foundation repair and waterproofing companies, trust is the biggest barrier. A homeowner isn't just deciding if they need your service. They're deciding if they trust you enough to let you on in their home and onto their property. That means that your ad creative has to build trust instantly. And here's how you do it. 1, you use real job photos, but show the story, not just the result. A before and after image of a basement wall is good, but a series of 3 photos, the problem, your crew on site and finishing the job, this tells the story without you solving it. People don't just want proof of the results. They want proof that you actually do the work. 2 is write like your foreman talks. Drop the marketing fluff. Talk the way you would if you were explaining this problem to a homeowner in their driveway. Here's the bad way of doing it. We provide comprehensive foundation repair solutions. And here's the good way. Got cracks in your basement wall? We'll stop those before they get worse. 3 is use reels or short videos as mini trust builders. These don't have to be very super polished. In fact, the less Hollywood you have it, the better. A 20-second clip of you pointing out a common problem on a real job site can outperform a high production ad because it feels authentic. 4 is make the click a continuation, not a leap. If you show your ad, if your ad shows like a basement waterproofing job and it talks about stopping leaks, your landing page should open with that same image or headline so that continuity makes people feel like they're in the right place, which keeps them moving forward. And 5 is, remember, the goal is trust before the click. The ad isn't just about getting the click. It's about making sure that by the time they click, they're already thinking, this is the company I want to call. We combine this with trust first creative approach and the targeting insights from that 90+ commercial intent keyword toolkit. Something powerful happens. Your ad stops feeling like ads and they feel like helpful advice from a trusted neighbor. And that's when the click quality skyrockets. Okay, this is fun. I actually like this. Okay, let's take a look at a real example on a meta ad that's been crushing it in the foundation repair space and break down why it works so well. The first thing you'll notice is that this isn't a polished stock photo. It's a real crew on a real job site mid-project. You can see the dirt, the tools, the work in progress that immediately screams authentic and local. The second is you look at the headline, permanently stabilize your home's foundation. There's no jargon, no fluff. It's a promise that speaks directly to the homeowner's biggest fear. Foundation problems getting worse, and offer a permanent solution. The body copy starts with a simple and strong statement. Elevate your home's foundation. It's short and enough to stop the scroll and make someone curious to click the see more. And here's when it gets really smart. The call to action is get quote, not learn more. It's not read our blog. It's direct. It's action oriented, and it meets the homeowner exactly where they are in the decision-making process. Plus, look at the social proof under this post. Hundreds of likes, dozens of comments, shares, and over 200,000 views. Even if you've never heard of this company before, that kind of engagement tells you that people trust them. And this is exactly what we mean when we say creative that converts. Real job and visuals that build instant trust. Clear, benefit-driven headlines that speak directly to the problem. A low-friction CTA, like get quote, that makes it easy for someone to take the next step. And when you take an ad like this with precision targeting from the 90+ commercial intent keyword toolkit, you're not just getting clicks. You're getting clicks from homeowners who are already thinking about fixing their foundation right now. So let's pull all this together, because one of the biggest mistakes I see contractors make is they run ads on one platform and then disappear. And the truth is, most people won't hire you the first time they see you. They might be at work, they might be waiting on another quote, or they just might not be ready yet. And that's where retargeting comes into play. And if you do it right, you'll stay in front of those homeowners exactly until they're ready to act. And here's a simple version of how we set this up for the clients. Is step one, we build a warm audience on every platform. Google Ads go to capturing the Google capturing everyone who clicks your ad and or visits your landing page. For Meta Ads, it's capture anyone who engages with your posts, watches your videos, or fills out a form. On Nextdoors, we capture anyone who clicks or comments on your posts or ads. And then step two is to cross-pollinate those audiences. This is where it gets fun. You take someone who's engaged with your Nextdoor post or and you show them a Facebook ad, or take someone who's clicked a Facebook ad, and then you hit them with a Google display ad the next time they read the news. Step three is you keep the message consistent. If first they saw you because of a cracked wall, repair ad, and you retarget the ad, that should remind them about the cracked wall ad, not switch to a sump pump install. This keeps the conversation going where it left off. And step four is you limit the frequency. Retargeting isn't about just stalking people. It's about gentle reminders. We usually try to aim for about 3 to 5 impressions per person per week. That's just enough to stay top of mind without getting annoying. And the result, you go from being a one and done ad to a familiar face that everywhere they turn, they see you. And then when the homeowner's finally deciding that they want to fix this problem, they feel like they already know you and they'll call you first. This becomes even more powerful when you're using the retargeting precision of the 90 plus commercial intent keyword toolkit, because you're not just retargeting everybody, you're retargeting the exact people who already have high intent for the services that'll actually make you money. And a quick check just to see how many people would love to have homeowners thinking, wow, this company is everywhere, right before they pick up the phone to call you. Pretty sure that number is going to be everybody, because everybody would want that. Okay, what do we got here? The next. Yeah, what do we got here? You're just moving right along through this, which is what I love. Okay, so basically, what we got here is, you know, um, one of the biggest pushbacks that I kind of hear from all contractors is, Seth, I know I should be on Google, I know I should be on Meta and Nextdoor, but I don't have time to create content for all of them. But here's the truth, you don't have to reinvent the wheel for each platform. You just need a system that turns one piece of content into assets for every channel. And we walk through and do this for our clients all the time. First, we start with a core content, pick a job site or a common problem, or frequently asked question from the homeowner, and just shoot a quick 60 to 90-second video on your phone explaining it, like 3 signs your basement needs waterproofing before this winter. And you just film it on site while you're showing them the problem. And two is you can slice it up for every platform. Google Video Ads, YouTube, you run the ad as a full video, a skippable ad, but it's retargeting people that have already searched this related keyword. On Meta Facebook and Instagram, you can trim it down to 20 to 30 seconds and add captions. And this post will act as a reel or a story. On Nextdoor, you can use it as a still frame from the video, as an image, or a short text version of your tip that you've created. On Google Display Ad, you can pull up a clean before and after from the video and use it as a retargeting banner. And step three is you can link it back to the same offer or the landing page, whether they see the YouTube ad or the Instagram reel or the Nextdoor post. Every call to action sends them straight to the same place, and it's a landing page that's built to convert. And step four would just be to track which version pulls the best. And you'll often find that the same core contents win across multiple platforms, meaning you can double down without creating more from scratch. And here's the beauty of doing all of this is that instead of scrambling to make different content for each channel, just make one smart piece of content for each platform or for one platform, and then let the platforms adapt it for you. And then you can layer this on top of the targeting precision from the 90 plus keyword commercial intent keyword toolkit, and you're not just getting mileage out of your content, you're actually getting more profitable mileage because every piece is aimed towards people most likely to buy. But this is where we just kind of talk about any questions anybody has, because the last 40 minutes we've kind of went over a lot here. I kind of talk fast, but just kind of slightly go over here what we've learned a little bit is how to stop wasting your money with the spray and pray PPC trap, and how to control Google's AI instead of letting it control you. How to combine Google, Meta, and Nextdoor into a trust-building, market-dominating system. How to create content that feeds every platform and keeps you top of mind all year long. And you've seen how all this connects back to one thing. It's getting in front of the right people with the right message at the right time and doing it in a way that your competitors can't copy overnight. Now, you've got two options from here, which is option one. You can take what I've shown you today and try to piece it together yourself. And if you do, honestly, you'll still be ahead about 90% of the market, just applying what you've learned today. And then there's option two. You can plug it into a proven system that already has all the campaign creative frameworks, keyword targeting, and tracking set up for you so you can skip the trial and error and launch faster and start seeing results without guessing. If you're like most of my clients, you don't want to spend the next 6 months trying to figure this out on your own while competitors are eating up the market share. That's why I've created a program called Local Leaders to give you local contractors everything you need to launch a high ROI Google, Meta, and Nextdoor campaign in the next weeks, not months. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how exactly that works, what's inside, and how you can get started today. Plus, I'm finally going to give you the 90 plus commercial intent keyword toolkit I've been teasing you about since the beginning. But first, let me ask you, if all this program did was bring you an extra 2 to 3 book jobs a month, would it be worth it? If all you did was stop the bleeding of wasted ad spend, would all of this be worth it? Let's take a look at what you're getting here. All right, so let's talk about how we can actually make this happen for you. Now, I call it the Local Leaders Plus program, or Local Leaders program, and it's a complete done-for-you system launching at a high-scaling ROI Google, Meta, and Nextdoor campaign for local contractors. This isn't a course that you'll buy and just never finish. It's not a cookie-cutter ad template that you have to figure out. It's a full implementation plan built for foundation repair and waterproofing contractors that include every campaign, setup, retargeting framework, and the follow-up system that we talked about today. The first thing you're getting when you join is the complete local ad domination blueprint, our step-by-step playbook for building campaigns that control Google's AI instead of letting it waste your ad budget. The proven meta ad structure with the M3 method that turns $20 to $50 a day into consistent book jobs, and the neighborhood effect strategy for Nextdoor that positions you as the recommended foundation repair and waterproofing contractor in your area. And then funnel templates that capture leads and convert them into jobs so you're just not pouring out ad spend into that leaky bucket. Think of this as the master plan that ties everything you've learned today into one cohesive, repeatable system that can generate leads on demand without guessing. And because it's built specifically for your industry, there's no waste in time adapting generic advice from e-commerce or coaching or B2B examples that just don't apply to you. Normally, we value our local ad domination blueprint pretty high. And honestly, if you just had this one piece, you could probably start walking away today and start winning more jobs instantly. But this is just the first thing you're getting. On top of that, I'm stacking more, which is what we're going to go over in this next slide. Basically, what we have here is we have a few different links that you can go to kind of guide you on how to get everything that we've talked about here. And I got it broken down into 3 different categories here. This is obviously nearing the end of this entire webinar. And the first 3 things I kind of want to bring a little bit of attention to is the webinar registration, which is the first QR code you're going to see at the bottom left here. And this QR code is going to take you to register to the next webinar, which is about AI and all the tools of how to generate more leads that way as well. And that will be on the second Tuesday of September. And the way you register is by scanning that QR code. It'll take you to a registration form page, and you click that and you'll go ahead and register. So you won't want to miss that, because we're going to go over some really interesting stuff there. The second QR code is booking your call. This is a quick discovery call. It's a 15-minute call where we go over your business, your goals, and talk about a few different things to see where your business is at and what you're actually aiming for, and kind of walk you through about what we do and how we can help and implement all the strategies we took and talked about today into place for your business. So if you want to, you can scan that QR code. It'll take you to a booking page, and you'll pick a time and date that works for you, and we'll call you and walk you through that whole process there. And then last but not least, what everybody's been waiting for, and I've been teasing this whole time, which is claiming your free toolkit, which is at the bottom right here. You'll see that it says claim your free toolkit. You scan this today, and you'll be able to download the 90 plus commercial intent keywords for foundation repair and waterproofing contractors. And that's how you'll get it. Send you to another link that you'll be able to download that as well. But other than that, those are the three things that you will need for either getting on the next webinar, getting on a discovery call with us and showing you how we can do this for you, or just claiming that toolkit and taking the do-it-yourself approach and getting it all done. Other things we'd like you to do is make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and set notifications on, since we are doing this every month. We'd love to see you guys in the next webinar that we have coming up. And if you want to like our Facebook page or Instagram page, we're constantly posting on there every week, so you can make sure that you can see all of our content and up to date, and join our Facebook group that we have, which is dedicated for foundation repair and waterproofing contractors only. But other than that, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. Whether if you're watching today live or you're watching on a replay, we really do appreciate it, and we hope that you end up subscribing so we can share more of these tips through more of these webinars. And we look forward to booking a call with you guys in helping your guys' businesses implement all these strategies we just talked about. And remember, don't forget your guys' 90 plus keyword toolkit there if you scan that right QR code. Other than that, thank you guys for your time, and stick